Hello, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to Joy Newsroom. My name is Sheila Shechi. Now to our top stories. President Mahama buys into the Give to Gain campaign as Ghana marks International Women's Day. Wants more investment done to empower women. Details as Vice President Professor Opoku Agyeman asks women to be proud of your resilience, achievements and essential contributions to Ghana's progress. We'll hear from other stakeholders as well as here on Joy Newsroom. Now, while West District Director of Education worried about unavailability of electricity in more than 150 communities in the area, says it hampers effective academic work.
Over 150 of our communities are still not connected to the national grid. It means our teachers are preparing their lessons by torchlight, and our students are unable to read a single page after sunset.
These plus other stories in this package. Do stay for details. This is your home of independent, credible and fearless journalism. Thanks for choosing us. Thanks for your company this afternoon. Now to a very first story. As the world celebrates achievement of women across the globe on International Women's Day, President John Dramani Mahama is praising the Ghanaian woman, detailing that families and communities are transformed when women are empowered. His statement reads, resources and unwavering support to our women, we gain as a country. We have seen time and again that when women are empowered, entire families and communities are transformed. Let us commit ourselves to breaking down barriers, creating pathways to success, and ensuring that every Ghanaian woman and girl has the chance to reach her full potential. As we observe International Women's Day 2026 under the theme Give to Gain, let us remember that every investment we make in empowering our mothers, sisters and daughters multiplies in prosperity for our entire nation. Now, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman wants women to be proud of their resilience, achievement and essential contributions to Ghana's progress. Here are extracts from her statement. Now, on this International Women's Day 2026, I send heartfelt greetings to all women and girls across Ghana and around the world. Let us be proud of the resilience, achievement and essential contributions women continue to make to our nation's progress. In Ghana, the theme Giving to Gain is already demonstrated through concrete actions. The intentional effort to ensure women make up at least 30% of government appointments recognizes a simple truth about national development. When women serve as ministers, lead key public institutions, and help shape policy at the highest levels, the country benefits from a broader range of talent and perspective. But the principle goes beyond government, creative institutions. In business, academia, civil society, and creative industries, faith leadership, and other sectors, expanding opportunities for women enhances our national life and increases the pool of leadership that we rely on. Empowering women is not just a favor, it is a strategic investment in better governance and a more confident Ghana. Also, First Lady Ladina Mahama is asking for more mentorship opportunities for young women. In her statement, she said, as we observe International Women's Day 2026, I encourage every Ghanaian to reflect on what you will give to gain gender equality. Will you mentor a young woman starting her own business? Will you advocate for your daughter's education as passionately as you do for your sons? Will you support policies that promote equal opportunities in your workplace and community? Also, always remember that investing in women brings benefits. When women succeed, families flourish, communities thrive, and the nation advances. I am reminded of the profound Akan proverb, when you forget something and go back for it, it is not forbidden. Together, we must go back and lift every woman and girl we may have left behind. For in their rise, Ghana rises. We will provide opportunities for our market women in Mokola, mentorship for young tech entrepreneurs in Accra, or training for share butter producers in the northern region. We don't diminish our resources. We multiply our nation's prosperity. I am proud of the progress our country has achieved, including increased interest in and enrollment of girls in STEM education, support for women farmers through cooperative strengthening, and the rise of more women leaders in district assemblies, the corporate sector, and boardrooms. Yet, there is still more to be done. Many talented girls continue to drop out of school. Capable women still lack access to funding, and many voices are still missing from decision-making processes. The Affirmative Action Bill has created opportunities and initiatives such as the Women's Development Bank by the Mahama administration will support thousands of female entrepreneurs across the country. My mothers and grandmothers gave us rich traditions of communal support through Inobwa and Susu. We must channel that same spirit towards achieving true gender equality. Give to gain. God bless our homeland, Ghana. And still on International Women's Day, the Kantamanto Women's Association is calling for stronger institutional support, improved market infrastructure, and greater access to financing to help women-led businesses grow within one of the country's busiest commercial centers. Members of the association say the day provides an opportunity to recognize the resilience, contributions, and challenges of women traders, particularly at Kantamanto Market, where many rely on daily trading for their livelihoods. There is more in the following report.
For many of these ladies, they've been marching through the principal streets of Accra. And today, marking the International Women's Day, they want Ghana's laws to better replicate this, even after the passage of the Affirmative Action Law. They want better financial inclusion and equality for women.
Yes, Ghana for my scabe bread and fine jumano. Abino. On ye, Akuma say, 20 or Cantama, on ye near, say, why you were Jumanim. They say, I did on him, Cosso, and see, I said, say, on Babuaye, Jumani and Cosso. But see, I said, $1 for me, I said, $1 for one. Passalania Manoka, I did on in your sense, on why nearby.
For the Vice President of the Kantamanto Women Traders Association, she holds a different opinion.
Once we are women, and as women, we can't just stay and just look that today is International Women's Day, and so that is it. We want to get involved, want to advertise ourselves. We want the whole world to know that yes, Kantamanto deals with women, and without women, there is no Kantamanto. And then for the economy to go on, it all depends on women, and Kantamanto stands tall when it comes to trade, when it comes to commerce, when it comes to business. You can't leave Kantamanto out of anything. So we are also pleading with the international community to come help so we can clean our places, because our gutters are choking, our beaches are choking. And so we want the international community, especially the brands, to come and support the EPR. We are looking for a rate. So the EPR that is supposed to be paid should come to Kantamanto straight to help the traders.
Government, in a message to mark International Women's Day 2026, has called for stronger national commitment to empowering women and girls, noting that investing in their growth and opportunities ultimately benefits the entire country. President John Dramani Mahama, in his message to commemorate the day, noted that until the obstacles and stigmatization associated with women's inclusion are addressed, progress toward gender equality will remain limited.
From Kantamanto Market, I am Stephen Mensah, reporting for JoyNews.
Now, 60 women in Mamobi and Kaswa have been equipped with vocational skills through a program organized by a non-governmental organization, Engage Now Africa, to promote self-reliance. Here's more in this report.
Vulnerable women struggle to assess employable skills. Engage Now Africa says it is stepping in with programs aimed at building self-reliant communities. At the graduation ceremony for the trainees, beneficiaries expressed gratitude, saying the initiative has equipped them with practical skills to earn a living.
Before I joined this program, I was at home without any skills. But since becoming part of Engage Now Africa, I have learned valuable skills such as dishwash, parasol, floor cleaner, hair cream, and many other products. These skills have helped me generate confidence and something meaningful to do.
I learned a lot of new. I can read, I can speak, and I can write.
Country manager of Engage Now Africa, Cecilia Mankwa, says the program is part of the organization's mission to empower vulnerable women and families.
Engage Now Africa, as our theme or our mission stands, to heal, to rescue, and to lift our own brothers and sisters. Today is Women's Day, so our own women out of extreme poverty. I'm just so grateful for the UN to set aside a day like this to celebrate us.
So we give them hope through our adult literacy and vocational program. So they enroll on the program, we teach them how to read and write in the basic English and mathematics, and also we give them training on vocational skills of their choice. Some of the trainings that they undertake will be the soap making, batik tie, beads making, baking.
Dignitaries at the event encouraged the graduates to apply their new skills to improve their lives and support their communities. For JoyNews, Mavis Kabukos report, read to you.
Now, the global observance this year is being held under the theme Give to Gain, encouraging greater support and investment in women to accelerate social and economic progress. Let's now engage Awo Adam Amenya, who is the Executive Director for Child Online Africa. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, Awo. How are you doing? And happy International Women's Day to you.
Thank you. And happy International Women's Day to you as well.
Now, Awo, you have pioneered child online safety. How has the journey been?
Thank you for having me and giving me this opportunity. I would say it's been an interesting journey. Interesting in a sense that there are ups and downs, just like one would encounter in an endeavor for life. And, you know, it's quite difficult and challenging to change attitude of people. And especially when you are dealing with an area which is not known to everyone. The assumption that, oh, okay, you would think this is a no-brainer. Everybody should rally around in order to make it happen. But then people are there, they don't seem to understand anything. And I believe in one thing, that be the change you want to see in the world. So with that information, I put in strategies to make sure that I get children what they need to have in order to be responsible citizens for the future. Because clearly nobody is going to do it for us. And it looks like almost everyone throws their arm in the air and say, oh, okay, this is a government decision, or this should be, some government should do something about it. Meanwhile, it's not only a governmental responsibility. We as parents have a responsibility. So are other stakeholders in the child protection value chain. So for me, I'm just keeping to my duty as a responsible citizen of Ghana and making sure that my children, and by extension, every other children in Africa, has what it takes to be responsible, to be effective in the space, because they are our future. If we don't give them what they need to have in order to be responsible, in future, we're going to suffer. So in order to make the necessary gains, the profitable gains that is required of us, it's important we give children what they need now so they be responsible.
Let's turn our attention to women. What should be done to encourage young women to venture into spaces like yours?
I would say that modeling behavior for them is key. Because, you know, we talk about technology, we talk about women, but very few people are actually mentoring young people in the space. So you go to tech spaces and languages are spoken above you. So if we don't bring it down to the level where a non-technical person could understand, technology is not only technical with jargons. There are aspects of technology that women can handle effectively and also deploy effectively. So until we start being intentional, bringing the generation with us, we will be doing zero scoring. That said, there are also instances where priorities of women are different from that of men. So for instance, I'm a mother as well. So I sit down sometimes, I'm before the screen and I'm working. And then the next thing is I need to think about the food that the people in the home are going to take. I need to think about maybe water leakage somewhere and all of that. If the system is not made in such a way that we could reach out to those things, those services smoothly without having to stress too much, chances are that I'm going to sacrifice work in the space for the domestic chores. So clearly, at the end of the day, we're going to be having a shortage of women's participation. Then we can also talk about bullying in the space. A lot of women are suffering, are signing out of spaces just because they suffer one form of bullying or another. So until we address those things and make sure that truth is standing, raising women and girls in self-sufficiency and truth, my sister, very soon we'll see most women vanishing from their space. So it's our responsibility. Let's take it up as a challenge. This International Women's Day is theme, give to gain. Men should give us what we need. Men should give us spaces that are receptive enough so that we can, by extension, support homes effectively, support in the workspace, and support in every endeavor we find ourselves in.
Well said, Awo. Now, I know Army wives have something coming up.
Hey.
What are you commemorating, or how are you commemorating this year's International Women's Day?
Oh, okay. As a proud Army wife, today being International Women's Day, we've actually identified some of our women who have been on support to the system in the past to engage with us. So we have that kind of system where we want to bridge the generational gap. You know, when you are an Army wife or being in the barracks for so long, when you leave or you are on retirement, you hardly make friends outside. Your main family is within the barracks. And it looks like that vision is being lost on us. So we want a situation where the old come to engage or interact with the current wives, inform us about what is happening out there. And by so doing, we learn a thing or two to inform our strategy for life, and by extension, help our families. So today we're honoring a number of women. That is not to say that those are the only women. There are quite a number of them, but most of them might not be able to make it physically. So those who make it in person are those we're trying to interact with and also honor this afternoon as we mark the day.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here, and congratulations. And also on Zoom joining me is Enyona Manye, who is the CEO of the Ghanaian farmer. And you know, thanks for joining and happy International Women's Day to you.
Happy International Women's Day to you. Greetings to everybody, especially women globally. A bigger one to our First Lady, Mrs. Lodina Mahama, and our first female Vice President in Ghana, Madam Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman.
Well, you are in the agri sector. Tell us how stressful it has been, and you know what are your gains and pains in that sector?
It will interest you to know that women make up 41% of the global agri-food workforce, contributing to the entire value chain from production to processing, marketing. And in all that we do, about 15% of global landholders are women, limiting our ability to fully participate and benefit from economic rural growth. What I'm driving at is that this year's theme, Gift Again. It's about time land owners in the rural areas, our chiefs who have right over lands, our husbands who have portions of lands under their control and yet are not cultivating all of them, to consider giving us what is due us, to cultivate what our finances can afford, and then we can sell, market, and support the livelihood of not just the family, but also the extended family, the community. Because at times, a woman has enough to cultivate more than 1 acre or more than a 2 acre, but simply because you're considered you are not supposed to be in that sector or industry, you are limited to the number of acres you are given. So it's about time that our partners, who are our husbands and chiefs and holders of land, would consider giving us what is due us. For the struggle for women to succeed and thrive in agriculture, it is always a thing that we are going to be advocating for until women are giving what is rightfully due them.
And you know, aside giving out of lands, what are the challenges are women facing in that sector?
So definitely we are facing issues with funding. A lot of the times when financial support are being given out, women become the second option instead of we become the priority. I think in a time like this, in such a moment, we have to reconsider when funding is given, because women are very, very committed to repaying loans. Women are very committed to doing what is expected of them in terms of support. They make sure they use the resources they are given to do the farming, to harvest, to sell, to save some, and to also use some to repay whatever support they are given. So lack of funding is one major issue. When it comes to marketing, women also have a little bit of issue. You know, a woman, largely has control and has to take care of the home, like the first speaker who you just spoke to. We have husbands to support, we have children to take care of, we have a lot of commitment in the house. And so by the time you are done with all of this, to step out and consider selling your commodities or consider attending meetings, consider sealing business deals, a lot of hours, precious hours have been spent. So it's about time that our husbands or our partners realize that our place is not just the kitchen. We have a lot more we can do as women, so that we are giving that opportunity to step out a lot more, do the marketing, do this networking, meetings, and be able to strike deals that can propel us to the next level when it comes to the agribusiness value chain. I think we need a lot more of infrastructure as well. When you go to the oil palm farming belt, you go to the vegetable production, you go to the shea butter area, women play a lot of role in these spaces. However, at the end of harvest, or when you have access to all these commodities, what you need is these small machines, these small processing areas that you can add value to these produce. So you can sell them and gain a lot more than selling them in their raw state. So I think I'll use this opportunity to advocate that women be put into more groups women be supported with these industrial processing areas that after harvest, those who want to add value to this raw produce can go ahead and do so, because it would go a long way to help us gain more than we are getting from the little we harvest from our fields.
Well, and I know that you are an inspiration when it comes to, farming. How many women now do we have in farming? Do we have an encouraging number of women venturing agriculture?
Most definitely. We have the number, and it is really increasing. I have an initiative called Agric for Girls, and under that project, we have more than 100 young women that we are grooming, and we are training them in various agribusiness initiatives. Now, the challenge that we are facing with this initiative has to do with support, because the project is derived or designed in a way that after the training, you are giving startup kits to be able to start your own project or your own business. So we'll use this opportunity to call on the First Lady, to call on the Vice President, to identify some of we people who have been in this space for 5 to 6 years. The Ghanaian farmer, we don't just do documentary to propel, to project and amplify the works of farmers. We do training, we champion agrotourism, and we also make sure this initiative, Agric for Girls, is empowering young women. But we can't do it all by ourselves. We need a lot more support. So the numbers of women coming into the agriculture space day after day is very encouraging. I am a testimony to that. I have been
Well, thank you very much, Enyona Manye, who is a loud inspiration when it comes to, getting women into the agri sector. Now, the fight against cancer in Africa is not just about medicine. It is about lives, families, and the future of the continent. At the 2026 Roach Africa Press Day held in Nairobi, one woman's story captured the urgency of the moment. Dorothy Nyong'o spoke about watching people close to her battle the disease, including her own husband, who survived cancer, a close friend who died from breast cancer, and that friend's mother, who later developed the same illness. Her story fuels a growing call for African governments to invest in more early screening, diagnosis, and treatment. MFA Etiamwa Eli has more from Kenya.
Dorothy Nyong'o is the managing trustee of Africa Cancer Foundation and the First Lady of Kisumu County in Kenya. She is a global advocate for women's health, particularly cancer. For Dorothy, the statistics around cancer are deeply personal, from her home to close friends, country, and the continent. Nyong'o says many African patients are lost not because treatment does not exist, but because they are diagnosed too late or cannot navigate fragmented health systems.
Our governments need to prioritize women's cancers. We lose a lot of patients in the journey because they don't know where to go or what to do next. They don't even understand the urgency of their diagnosis.
Across Africa, the challenge is stark. Health advocates gathered to push for a shift in thinking about health investments. Jacqueline Wambua is the general manager for Roach East Africa.
For far too long, health has been treated as a cost, a line item in a budget, something to reduce when resources are scarce. That way of thinking no longer serves us as a continent, because our continent is changing. This is the moment to change our conversation, where health is no longer a cost, but health is wealth.
In Kenya, the government says policies alone are not enough if systems fail patients when they need care. Dr. Uma Ulunga works with Kenya's Ministry of Health.
We are part of those countries that are very aggressively pursuing the universal health coverage dream. We have placed healthcare at the center of economic transformation. Asking ourselves two questions. One is, how can healthcare be a driver of economic development. But number two, how do we make healthcare? How do we make healthcare and health systems to protect lives and to protect people?
Africa's cancer burden is projected to double by 2040. Yet, many countries still spend less than $35 per person on health each year.
Research points to a clear opportunity. Health investment delivers returns. The data shows that every dollar invested in innovative cancer treatments can generate up to US dollars 12.40 in economic value, while early public health interventions can return more than 14 times the initial investment.
For advocates like Dorothy Nyong'o, the way forward is simple: early screening, faster diagnosis, and stronger health systems that give every patient a fighting chance. My name is Amafa Ewenam Atiamwa Eli for JoyNews, Nairobi.
Well, we'll take a break here. We'll come back with more news. Do stay with us. And now let's do some education-related stories. Wa West District Director of Education, Amatu Stugu, says the unavailability of electricity in more than 150 communities in the area is hampering academic work. He says the situation forces teachers to prepare lessons with torchlights while pupils are unable to learn after sunset. More in Rafiq Salam's report from Winchu.
13 kindergartens, primary schools, 1 senior high school, and a cadet corps took part at the Independence Parade March Past at Wuchao, capital of Wa West District, under the command of Constable of the Ghana Police Service, Frimpong Beta. Reviewing officer of the parade was the Wa West District Chief Executive, Richard Wulu, flanked by the Wa West Member of Parliament, Superintendent Retired Peter Lenchina Tubu, and the Wa West District Director of Education, Ametus Tu'u, aided by music from the Wuchao-based Nas Brass Band Group. The Lassie Cadet Corps were the first to start their march past, and they excited the crowd with their beautiful choreographed display of their marching skills. Next was the basic schools, starting with the kindergartens, and they also didn't disappoint. It took the 13 basic schools and the Wuchao Technical School close to an hour to finish the march past. Wa West District Director of Education, Ametu Su'un, while speaking about significant strides made over the years to improving the quality of education in the district, he however pointed to a major hindrance to education in the district: the lack of electricity in sea of schools in the district, forcing teachers to prepare for lessons using torchlights and pupils unable to read a single page after sunset.
When over 150 of our communities are still not connected to the national grid, it means our teachers are preparing their lessons by torchlight, and our students are unable to read a single page after sunset. This is not just an inconvenience, it is a barrier to academic excellence. When the sun goes down, the window of learning closes for many of our children, putting them at a disadvantage compared to their peers in urban centers.
Wa West Member of Parliament, Superintendent Retired Peter Lenchina Tubu, conceded to the sovereign lamentations of the Wa West Education Director. He, however, beneath his sleeves, has a political solution.
I attended school without electricity, but it didn't deter me. I attended school using lantern, but I never failed. That is not to say that our children should go through the same thing. We have gone through the pain to ensure that our children will have a better future. And that is why I support the statement made by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama that universal electricity coverage by 2030 is a must.
Warwards District Chief Executive Richard Ulu highlighted initiatives being undertaken by the Assembly to improve the quality of education in the district.
I am happy to announce that the District Assembly recently handed over sites for the construction of a KG block at Stanina and a 3-unit classroom block at Dabo as part of efforts to improve teaching and learning outcomes in the district. Let me once again appeal to communities and schools to own and take good care of such facilities when provided in order to prolong their lifespan for the benefit of our own children.
In the March past, Wuchao Kindergarten emerged winners in the kindergarten category, while Durmudiye Primary School were crowned as the best school in the primary school category. Wuchao EAJHS placed first in the junior high school category. There were also awards for the best kindergarten, primary, and senior high school teachers.
Warwards District Environmental Health Officer Isaac Fozia, while thanking the Assembly for the donation, stated that it will go a long way to improving the quality of their service to the people. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Wuchao.
Now, despite recording impressive results in the BECE examination over the past 2 years within the Commander Edna Egwafo Ebrim municipality, infrastructural challenges could undermine these academic gains at the Ampenyi MA Basic School. Abigail Esel Nkrumah reports that during the school's maiden speech and prize-giving day, several issues affecting teaching and learning were highlighted, including inadequate classrooms, unconducive learning environment, and the absence of science laboratory.
More than 6 decades after its establishment, Ampenyi MA Basic School in the Commander Edna Egwafo Ebrim municipality held its maiden speech and prize-giving day under the theme Celebrating Excellence, Honoring Efforts, the Role of Stakeholders. Delivering his address, the headmaster, Caleb Obedi-Shen, highlighted the school's achievements, particularly its performance in the Basic Education Certificate examination within the municipality.
Academically, the school has made remarkable strides. From 2022 to 2025, we have recorded 100% pass rate in the BECE, producing the overall best student in the KEA municipality in the year 2024 and 2025. Our students have gained admission into reputable senior high schools across the country, a clear testament to the dedication of our teachers, the hard work of our students, and the unwavering support of parents and stakeholders.
Chairperson for the occasion, Sabina Bosong-Yong Esquire, underscored the importance of collaboration in strengthening the quality of education.
Education flourishes when stakeholders work together with a shared vision. When school, home, and community unite, our children benefit from a strong support system that nurtures not only academic success, but also integrity, responsibility, and confidence. As we celebrate achievements today, let us renew our commitment to collaboration. Let us continue to invest in our children, inspire them to dream boldly, and guide them to become responsible citizens and future leaders.
Adding the voice of the students' body, the senior boys prefect, Jacob Obese, outlined some key challenges affecting teaching and learning at the school.
I humbly present a few important needs of our school. Although we are making progress, we still face some challenges. We do not have enough ceiling fans in our classroom. This makes teaching and learning very uncomfortable, especially when the weather is too hot. Sometimes the classroom becomes too warm, and it affects our concentration. We also do not have science laboratory. Because of this, students are unable to do practical experiments, which are very important for understanding science. In addition, we do not have well-equipped school library to support our reading and research.
Guest speaker and professor of development economics at the University of Cape Coast, Professor Victor Mensah, also called on relevant stakeholders to help tackle the challenges confronting the school.
My final appeal goes to the Municipal Assembly and the government, as well as the Municipal Education Office. Please help these teachers, the headmaster and his other teachers, to provide the necessary facilities and the services to the place. More importantly, parents, do not relax. Please support your children and help the school teachers to provide excellent services to the people.
From Ampeyin, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for JoyNews.
A 5-acre agricultural resource center to transform agricultural education has been launched at Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, positioning students to embrace modern mechanized farming as a viable career path. The initiative, spearheaded by the 2002 Odadie Year Group, will serve as a model agricultural training hub for secondary schools across the country. There is more in the following report.
The $150,000 Agricultural Resource Center will feature a modern greenhouse complex, poultry production units, fish farming systems, and integrated green spaces designed to function as a self-sustaining ecosystem. While the school already maintains a farm, the new project aims to redefine agricultural education by introducing advanced techniques that maximize yield on limited land. Vice President of the Odadie 2002 Year Group, Bismarck Osibeng, explains the vision behind the initiative.
The school itself has some farm, but we are trying to introduce what modern farming is supposed to be like. And it's supposed to be a template that we are setting as a standard for all the secondary schools across the country. This project is supposed to be one of the means by which we are going to find nutritional supplements for our students who are already in the schools, and also to become a training center for our existing up-and-coming students. The vision is also that we'll be able to partner with certain national, resource centers, the resource centers, as well as other universities, among others, that will want to go into setting specific training programs for those who want to enter into the agri sector.
Publicity lead for the Year Group, Carlos J, says the project is designed to demonstrate how technology and innovation can reshape agriculture for the next generation.
And this is also going to serve as a lab for the agri students, because they are going to learn more about using hydroponics and what have you in the greenhouse gardening. And we're also going to have fish ponds or fish farming, about 5 different tanks for tilapia and other species that the school may deem necessary.
For former Health Minister Bernard Okoboy, agriculture remains one of Ghana's underutilized tools for job creation and economic transformation.
When South Korea started, those that were worshipped were the philosophers and the arts. Almost every country, including the UK, started 400,000-500,000 years ago with arts. Those who can do philosophy and law, they were the foundations. But over time, science has been proven to be the pillar if you want to transform. And so Ghana must realize this as soon as possible, and not only realize, but get closer to Legon Presec, and we will help them to solve their problems.
The project will be developed in phases with plans including a 10,000-layer poultry farm facility expected to produce nearly 10,000 eggs weekly to supplement meals for students.
Now, Vice-Chancellor of Tamale Technical University, Professor Bashiru Imor Said, has expressed confidence that collective efforts will enable the institution address its infrastructure challenges and build a stronger future. Speaking at the university's 2026-2027 matriculation ceremony, Professor Said said the management is actively seeking to support to enhance the university's infrastructure. Martina Bugri reports from Tamale.
The Tamale Technical University has admitted 8,624 students out of the 9,024 applicants for the 2026-2027 academic year. The breakdown shows 3,164 female and 5,460 male students are set to join the institution. Speaking at the matriculation ceremony, the Vice Chancellor of the Tamale Technical University, Professor Basharu Imuru Ibn Said, highlighted the university's commitment to addressing its infrastructure challenges.
As TATU continues to grow in student population and academic programs, we have intensified our commitment to infrastructure expansion and modernization. We are actively pursuing GET Fund for the construction of a multipurpose auditorium, a landmark project that will significantly enhance our ability to host major academic ceremonies, conferences, research symposia, and national events. Beyond these flagship projects, we continue to upgrade lecture halls, laboratories, workshops, and digital learning spaces.
He urged the new students to leverage technology to make the most of their time at the university.
Technology is not a luxury. It is the language of the modern world. At a technical university, you are expected to move beyond basic usage of digital tools. Use technology intentionally and productively. Transform your devices into instruments of research, innovation, entrepreneurship, and collaboration.
A matriculating student, Daniel Amu, says they are ready for the task ahead.
On this solemn occasion, we pledge the following. We pledge to pursue our studies with dedication, curiosity, and integrity. We pledge to respect the values, rules, and traditions of this noble university. We pledge to work diligently to acquire both knowledge and practical skills, knowing that these are the tools that build nations.
Now, residents of Ejimante can now breathe a sigh of relief to access to clean and safe drinking water has finally become a reality following the commissioning of a mechanized borehole project by the Rotary Club of Accra Airport Enclave. The project also includes an iron remover and a reverse osmosis water treatment system. President of the Rotary Club of Accra Airport Enclave, Gilbert Hagan, says this is part of the club's commitment to improve lives through sustainable community service.
The project, which includes an iron remover and a reverse osmosis water treatment system, is expected to significantly improve access to safe drinking water for the people of Ejimante and surrounding areas. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony on Saturday, March 7, 2026, President of the Rotary Club of Accra Airport Enclave, Gilbert Hagan, said the initiative forms part of the club's commitment to improving lives through sustainable community service. He explained that the club decided to drill a mechanized borehole and install modern water treatment systems after identifying the urgent need for clean and reliable water in the community.
The club's decision to drill a mechanized borehole, install an iron remover, and a reverse osmosis system at a total cost of 210,000 Ghana cedis. This makes the project unique in the area and ensures the Ejimante community now has safe, reliable, and drinkable water.
Mother of Ejimante, Nana Ewoya Ochewa, expressed gratitude to the Rotary Club for the intervention, noting that the availability of clean water will greatly improve the health and well-being of the people. She emphasized that water plays a vital role in human health and said the project has brought relief, peace, and renewed hope to residents of the community.
This water is going to give us a whole lot of peace in our health. The health benefit of this water is big, because when you don't have water to drink, you dehydrate. Dehydration brings a whole lot of problems to your health. So we appreciate the Rotary Club.
With the completion of the facility, the Ejimante community now has access to safe, reliable and drinkable water, an intervention that is expected to enhance sanitation, improve public health and strengthen community development. The Rotary Club says it remains committed to supporting communities through impactful projects that improve lives and promote sustainable development. Arthur Sewa Boache's report, read to you.
And that's all in the news this afternoon. I'm Shala Sechi. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. Thanks for your company this afternoon.